Welcome back, guys. So right now I've created a full storyline, which is a full novel, which has about 108 page 108 pages, and there we are. So we have a full storyline, but what do we do with this full storyline? So you can actually create a novel from this particular storyline. You can create a movie, you can create a comic book. But right now we're talking about creating a comic book. So we have a full novel, of course. We don't have a title yet, but we have a full novel. So I would say I will just continue with my prompts that says, where would you like to take their story next? So I would say, give me give me a comic book title for this. Design this to be a comic book where each chapters represent different issues of the comic book, and the panel by panel division of the story with the right dialogue and caption should be captured in the comic strip layout. So there we are. So what we are doing now is to have a comic strip layout, and we have a panel design. So we have to know that these are the keywords: panel by panel, comic strip layout. So these are ways you can actually convert your storyline, be it a novel or a short play. You can convert it to a comic strip layout and panel by panel division. Then we can now talk about the characterization, but right now we have a comic book. So let's do this right now and see what the results will be. So right now, this is the novel we created, and it is a full novel right now. So you can actually work on it to be a novel, you can work on it to be a movie, or you can work on it to be a comic book, which is what we are going to do in this session. So we're going to see how we can turn this to a comic book. So right now we are trying to do a comic adaptation of the story. So this is a perfect for a comic adaptation: the rain, the river, the political tension. Visually, this would be stunning. Let's fully design it like a professional comic series. So the comic book title is River Bond. So that will be the title of the story. So it's going to be River Bond, of course. So let's say River Bond. By the way, that's good. And right now, the tagline says, "Love is rebellion, choice is revolution." So alternative titles, if you want options: Against the Whole World, Under One Umbrella, Divided by Water, Storm Between Us. So let's see, I think Storm Between Us is okay. Riverbond seems iconic, symbolic, and marketable. Yes, in terms of a comic book. But what if it is a movie? Storm Between Us would have been the title for a movie, and Riverbond goes with a novel, and it goes with every other thing. So let me just put Storm Between Us in case it wants to be turned to a movie. So right now we have the story, comic book title, of course, and now we have the visual style, which has direction. So the series structure, this will be a 12 issue limited series. Each issue is equals to one chapter from the novel adaptation. So issue 1 is the umbrella. Yes. Opening splash page, full page panel, white cinematic shots, little Amira under broken pink umbrella, rain crushing, caption: Event Port was a city split by a river and by everything the river refused to say. So we have page 2. Page 1 will be the panel, which is the splash page. Then we have page 2, which will be the panel 1. Close up, pink umbrella flipping inside out. SFX womp. Yes. Amara's small speech bubble, stupid thing. So let's see what these will be. So panel 2, across the streets. So we have rain trickling between them. Caption: some meetings don't feel important at first. So Daniel stepping off curb, panel 3, panel 4, Daniel holding umbrella over both of them. You can't win against the sky. You can't win against the sky. Am I agreeing? Maybe not, but I don't like losing. So we have the conversation going on right now. You don't look like someone who does. So panel, we have moving truck in background, Daniel inside car. So we have all this now, and everything is being like turned into a page design. So we have pages. So we have page 6, we have panel 5, and we have page 2. So we have all these, but it's not so complete yet. So page by page, yes. So let's improve these prompts. Give a comic book title for this. We've gotten a comic book title. So convert this. Okay, convert this story. So now we're going to say convert this novel to a comic book. Let it be as detailed as the novel itself. Okay, where each chapter represents different issues of the comic book, and each panel each panel are designed each panel are designed for each pages with 4 panels for each pages as the story as the story elongates, with the right dialogue without sfx. Yes, so without sfx or onomatopoeia, which is common in a comic book, but we want a plain comic book. Okay, with the right dialogue and caption is needed here, and without sfs onomatopoeia in the comic strip layout, but a juicy plot, dialogue dialogue and caption. So these are prompts that were made from my head. So I used to tell people that you don't need to have a predefined prompt, just know how to talk to your AI. That's all that matters. You don't need to have a predefined prompt. You don't need a prompt book to do any of this. All you need is to have a way to talk to your AI, send your message across, and see how the result turns out to be. So I'm going to have this sense right now. Since we've gotten the name for the book, we don't need a name right again. So here we're going to have each chapter is equals to one issue. Each issue contains multiple pages. Each page has exactly 4 panels. No sound effect, no onomatopoeia. Sound, strong captions plus layered dialogue, cinematic pacing, emotional continuity, visually descriptive panel directions for artists, because a full 12 issue adaptation in one response will be extremely long, especially a full graphic novel script. I'll begin with issue 1, the umbrella. So this is the adaptation of chapter 1 in issue 1. If you approve the tone and layout, I'll continue with issue 2 immediately and we'll build the entire comic series issue by issue. So if I were you now, I will have a panel layout. So I was supposed to create something different. So we have river bond. So this will be a novel. Yes, this is a novel version. So it's going to be novel. So this will be a novel, of course. So now let's work on a comic version. So we're going to have a comic book version, of course. And right now we are going to start that right here, to start a blank document for it. So here we have our panel layout and everything is being designed right here. So we have the caption, and there's dialogue here, there's panel 4 with caption, and there's page 2, 4 panels. So this chapter 1, which is issue 1, has how many pages? If we look into it, so it has about 7 pages, which is fair enough for one issue. So let's have this right now. So this will be River Bond, which will be the comic book. Yes, so let's have River Bond. which should be the comic book. Okay, so we have the comic book or the comic script. So right now the layout of the comic book is right here. So we have the page one. So we are going to make sure we keep these charts because you need it to complete your comic. But if I were you, I would have all these. I will have it to issue 12 since we have the issue 1 already. And right now you're going to see if this tone pacing and panel layout works for you. I'll continue immediately issue 2, which says this will expand deeper, more dramatic and more layered with emotional intensity as the series progresses. Say continue issue 2 and we move forward. So once we have all these issues right now, then we're going to have a character sheet. Yes. So after the issue, from issue 1 to issue 12, which is still planning out the layout, we're going to have a character sheet. Yes, a character sheet, and we're going to have the animation style trigger. So we're going to have the animation style trigger. We're going to have a character sheet that defines the characters and their consistency. So let's see how we complete this panel description so we can have our full story. So we can start with chapter 1 now or issue 1. So we have issue 1 right now. So I'm going to have issue 1 being depicted here. So I'm going to have issue 1. Yes, Control Z. So here we have issue 1. Then we're going to do the same thing we did the other time. So we're going to say insert page break, which takes us to the next session. So for issue 2, and we're going to have all the issues right there. I hope to see you in the next lesson where I get to complete these issues where we have our comic strip design. Then we're going to continue to create a character sheet and the animation style sheet. Once we have the character and the animation style sheet, then we can now proceed to work on generating the images and designing the book itself. I hope to see you in the next lesson. See you there.